Every day I drive past that traffic island on the way to my office, and I've always ignored it because it's been nothing but asphalt.
Just because this is a traffic island doesn't mean that it has to be an abandoned, ugly space.
But today's a very special day because I'm about to change all of that. My name is Carson Arthur, and with the help of my Green Force team, we're about to take that triangle right here in the middle of the city and return it to the way it used to be. In fact, we're giving that space back to Mother Nature.
This intersection is very dangerous, and the triangle has been an eyesore.
Yeah, no, it's always been a dump.
Well, what the community wants here is a safe place to cross this ridiculous road.
Sorry, but that's what it is. It's really just been a big asphalt eyesore.
The skateboard kids are always there skating, and I've always been thinking it would be nice to have a little bit of greenery inside there, you know?
Pam, thanks for letting us get started in here and getting the city in to rip up all this asphalt.
Oh, I'm delighted that
Saves a
someone
lot of
has
work.
finally come to the table and started to look at this important space.
Well, I drive past this every day.
I bet, yes.
So
Most people do, I think.
When I saw this area, I really wanted to bring in some green.
Right.
Okay, I wanted to make this aesthetically beautiful and bring in some environmental stuff to help with global warming.
Absolutely.
Because there is a ton of traffic nonstop through here.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, looking at the soil and the quality here, I wasn't planning to dig down. Am I safe to say no parquet here?
Yes, what we need here is a mechanism for pedestrians to get across safely onto the other side and to be able to connect one neighborhood with another. So those are the kinds of challenges that a parquet wouldn't really address, would it? It would just encourage people to sit in the middle of the most horrific traffic jam that you've ever seen, because you never know where people are going to go next.
Then to make sure I understand what you're asking for here, you need me to help you slow down that traffic.
Absolutely.
So this has to be visually beautiful.
Yes, yes, that will help.
Okay. We need to make it link the two communities.
Connections, absolutely.
Okay. Now I have one question for you though. Can I get rid of the posts, the bollards?
I wish. No. The answer is, of all of the things that are on this island, this is the piece that keeps the accidents from occurring. I'm afraid they have to stay. You can do what you want with them as long as we can see them and as long as they keep those cars away from the pedestrians.
Well, that's just one more challenge then.
There are very few places in our city that are as challenging as this spot. He's a great designer, so maybe he can do this. It's quite a challenge, though.
I have to confess, I've never really designed a traffic island before, but basic design principles state that the first thing I need to do is break this space down into its most simple shape. And in this case, it happens to be a triangle. Now I'm using these diamonds as plant beds because the soil in the triangle is really bad and I can't put plants directly into it. Instead, I'm going to build up. However, Councillor Pam has given me a bit of a challenge. She does not want the retaining walls for my planters any higher than 3 feet because she's worried that the pedestrians won't be able to see the oncoming traffic. Now, the first time I saw this space, I wanted to make a really dramatic statement, but because the plant beds are only 36 inches tall, I have to do that in a different way. I have to get creative, so I'm bringing in arbors, big ones, 12, 14, and 16 feet tall. They make a very large statement in this area. More importantly, they give the oncoming drivers a presence. They can tell that something is going on here. I have one more design detail to enter into this sketch, and that's the material that I want to use in between my planter boxes. I'm going to use gravel, and I'm doing it for a couple of reasons. Gravel is really good at reducing the ambient temperature in the air because it helps diffuse the heat of the sun across the entire space. Secondly, I'm using gravel because it's good for the water table. Gravel lets the rain percolate down and recharge the system. This is going to be a really big challenge for me because there's not a face that I can put to any one person who's going to actually use this space, and that makes it completely unique. Feels very auspicious presenting this to you in your office.
Wow.
All right, here's your design for the new triangle.
Wow. Can you explain it to me? Look, I can read words much better than plans. I don't read designs very well, so I have to imagine through Carson's answering of my questions what it's really going to look like.
These represent very large planters.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I
that
understand.
will be
Yes.
full of trees and shrubs and native plants.
Okay.
Okay? These smaller squares all the way around are pillars.
Okay.
Okay, in the pillars I will also have grasses and low maintenance plant material.
Okay.
Okay, but these pillars hold up an arbor system.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is there any way to make this sort of a more significant or a bigger piece of this? You see how it's
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
small?
Well, if you're gonna let me do that, I would love to do that. That's a good thing, actually.
Okay.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna actually double the size of this.
Okay.
That way
Okay.
this diamond leads into this diamond, and finally it ends at this one.
Listening to you, I think you've got it. So, and I think you've come up with, Carson, with a very creative solution to this abandoned space.
Thank you. That means you trust me.
I do.
Great.
Thank
Let's
you.
start construction.
Okay.
So this is why you called me in.
You originally ordered a Chanticleer pear. We can't dig them this time of year.
Right. And it's not gonna work. Well, Pam, I wanted you to see this because I want you to understand the scale of what we're about to do here.
Well, it's big and it kind of looks like a castle.
The Green Force team is at the Trinity Triangle in busy downtown Toronto, and we're turning this traffic median into a living, pollution-fighting green space.
Well, with the help of the city, we got rid of all the asphalt in this space. Now we're starting to level the base for retaining walls. Now these retaining walls are going to be for some very large planters because I want to bring in a lot of very big trees and shrubs. Those are going to start removing the CO2 from the air and in time are going to encourage birds and other wildlife back into this space.
With the retaining walls going up, it's time for me to hit the garden center to see what's available in trees and plants that can help take the CO2 out of the air.
Ah, then this is my order here.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Oh, wow. These look nice. Katani asters are great. And my purpley sand cherries, those look good. Some nice big grass. And then this is the problem.
Yes.
Okay.
You'd originally ordered a Chanticleer pear on your order, and we can't dig them this time of year. So I thought a substitution, an ivory silk would work. It's the same shape, the same leaf type of thing, and a very ornamental.
I do like the ivory silk lilac tree, but it just doesn't get big enough. At maximum height, it's only about 25 feet tall. So I'm gonna switch that out with something else. Maybe I would prefer a linden.
Absolutely.
Can I pick one?
Sure.
Let's do that then.
Well, our lindens are right here.
Okay. Now I want the linden because these are probably the best trees out there for CO2 and taking it out of the air. But it also gets to be 40 feet high by 40 feet wide. And that's the dramatic statement I'm looking for. And I think I want this one.
Beautiful tree. That's a 60 mil.
Okay, and that's what, 8, 10 years old?
At least 10, yes.
Okay, and we can just pop this up, put it on the order?
Not a problem. I'll just ribbon it.
As I arrive back at the site, I realize just how impressive these stone planters are going to be, which means they still need a lot of work.
Now, Laura, I wanted you to see what we're doing here because I'm using your product in a different application than I'm used to.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure I've got it right, okay? Now, these are going to be plant beds.
Yep.
And ordinarily in a residential application, I would never go this tall.
Sure.
Okay?
Yep.
And then I would only fill them with annuals.
Yep.
But I want to put perennials in here, okay? Is there anything I need to be aware of with this?
As long as your root systems don't get too big and stay with more native plants, they're going to be hardier for you because this doesn't give full insulation.
Right.
You're good to go.
Then I also wanted to point out that we sloped this one,
Yep.
okay? But that stone for my pillars is flat.
Yeah.
Okay, and I wasn't really sure why we were doing it that way.
Okay, well, this is an alum block product. It's designed to retain soil. In
okay.
this case, or in the case of most gardens. This product is our Talia stone. It's more of a straight stack product. It's not really designed to retain anything. It's just good for low walls or pillars, which is what you've used them here for.
Yeah, it's gonna hold the columns for my pergola.
Yeah, that's
so
perfect.
That's good, because I like the way the two complement each other, even though they're different purposes,
Yep.
they still work together.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that.
You're
for
very
your
welcome.
72 skids
It's
of stone.
exciting,
Because
no
we couldn't do this
problem.
project without you guys. Today's gonna be a very interesting day because Councillor Pam wants to come down and see the triangle. And the condition it's in right now, well, it looks like a natural disaster has hit it. We've got stone piled everywhere. We've got dirt up over my head. We've got half-built columns. I suspect that she's gonna be amazed, but not necessarily in a good way. I'm glad you could come down here today because I really want you to understand the scale of what we're attempting to do.
Wow.
So this is one set of planters.
Wow. It sort of looks like a castle, don't you think? Woo!
Okay, now that you said that, yeah, it does.
Hoping it'll move away from being a castle and into being some sort of a traffic island that'll tell those drivers to slow down.
I think it's hilarious that Pam thinks that this looks like a castle at this stage. I promise, at the end of it, it will not look like a castle, but if she wants to crown me Prince Charming, I'm all for that. Here's what's gonna happen, okay?
Yeah.
That soil is gonna go into these beds as well,
Okay.
all right? So you're gonna have a series of grasses here,
Right.
okay? Plants all around the ring,
Yes.
and plants in the big one.
It's very big.
Well, that's the problem, because this is the small one.
Oh.
Come on over here.
Oh, really?
This is almost the center of the next planter
Wow. So all of that will be filled in.
with plants.
Wow. Although it's enormous. Carson, I could hardly believe this came out of your brain. It's amazing to me.
Well, thank you. Well, you asked for safety.
So far, safety, yes.
You asked to tie the communities together.
Connections, yes.
And finally, what you're not seeing yet is all the plant material that's coming in as low maintenance.
Oh, that's fabulous. Carson, you've done a great job.
Well, thank
Great.
you. And as you can see, we have a lot of work to still do in this space.
Yeah.
So we have to get out of it so the
Okay.
team can keep going.
All right.
Soil just arrived, but I have a bit of a concern with it. Yep. To me, that looks like topsoil.
It is topsoil.
They were supposed to be 12 feet, right?
Yeah, we had to lower them for the sight lines at the far end.
So you took a little liberation with my design, eh?
Green Force has taken over the Trinity Triangle. We've removed all the asphalt, started construction on a series of stone planters, and picked out all the low-maintenance plants and trees. Now it's time to bring in the wood for the arbors.
Today is going to be a really active day in the Triangle because we have two different construction crews working. We've got one doing all the stonework and building the last of my planters and retaining walls, and then I have a second group who are going to be doing all of the carpentry. We are right on schedule, but we have to get a lot done to make sure we finish this garden in time. Mike, thanks for dropping off all this wood. Now this is the second load here, okay? We started work with the first one. Some of those arbors are going up.
Looks beautiful.
Now this is the new pressure treated, right?
Yes, the main ingredient is copper, which is a natural product, which is a lot better for the environment.
Okay, so I don't have to deal with arsenic anymore.
Nope.
Several years ago, we were using arsenic to treat wood for outdoor applications, but what was happening was the arsenic was actually leaching into the soil, and unfortunately, it was contaminating the ground.
It is all environmentally friendly.
Well, and that's what the community wants to hear, because this is a community-based project.
Absolutely.
You should see this, because this project's getting a lot bigger.
With the stone planters built and the arbors up, it's time to get really dirty.
Now, Steve, the soil just arrived, but I have a bit of a concern with it. Because to me, that looks like topsoil.
It is, yep.
So I can fill my beds with it, but I don't want to plant in this.
No, you shouldn't.
I need something more nutrient-rich like triple mix.
Yep.
Which I was hoping to ask you for.
Yeah, I can get you some.
Can you?
Yep.
Now, what do you put in your triple mix?
40% leaf compost, 30% peat loam, 20% topsoil, and 10% horse manure.
That's actually a lot of leaf compost. I've never heard of anybody using that much before. Unfortunately, what's happened over the last few years is that the organic matter we've been using has been manure. And animals eat plants. Plants have seeds. Unfortunately, the seeds go through the manure and end up in your garden, and then they grow into weeds. We're now finding that a better alternative to manure is leaf compost. It doesn't have those nasty seeds, and more importantly, it's a recycled material. If you can get me 3 or 4 loads to top up these beds,
Yep.
then I'll leave it to you, sir. Thank you. Only 3 more of these to go, though. Whenever I'm selecting materials for a planting bed, I follow a very simple recipe. I like to combine evergreens with deciduous shrubs like this 9-bark and perennials, and I do it in equal measure of all 3. That way, this space always has lots of interest. But more specifically, in the winter time, I also add hardscaping, like the retaining walls, which is why I've stepped this back. No matter what the plants do, this space is going to look fantastic all year round.
Now I'm bringing in a personal touch into this space. I want to bring wildlife here, and I'm going to do that with birds, bats, and butterflies. But I'm doing that by giving them shelter. And I'm giving them each an individual type of house, which are all unique, especially the bat house. Now this is what a bat house looks like. And as you can see, there are no holes. In fact, bats like to go in from the bottom. This little guy has to be placed on a southern exposure because they need the heat of the sun to keep them warm in the wintertime. Butterfly houses are similar to bat houses in how they actually get inside. They climb in through the bottom, but they also have to go on southern exposures. And finally, true birdhouse needs to look something like this. Now this has vents in the bottom, which allows air inside to circulate around. It helps control moisture and mold. You also want to make sure it's a natural finish. Birds don't like living in paint and toxins. And unfortunately, because we want to keep these little guys safe from predators, this little birdhouse has to go up high, and I'm not really great with heights. So this should be very fun. Well, we are almost done with our environmental makeover here at the Triangle. I've got my first planter in place with the butterfly bush to help encourage some butterflies into this space. These planters are just about done. We have a bit of mulch to do, but we've lowered the wall so that pedestrians have a nice line of sight of the oncoming traffic. They can feel safe in the space. We also have these fantastic arbors. I have all my little birdhouses, just one left to put in. This planter is huge, and I'm really proud of it because what this one does is gives me an opportunity to bring in a lot of plants and shrubs to really help with that CO2 issue. You can also see that there's no mulch here, which is a very big job yet to do. And finally, unfortunately, we have a very large pile of gravel. And once this is in place, I promise this is going to be the best looking traffic median this city's ever seen. I'm proud of our makeover because we are doing a lot to help the environment and make the city beautiful and really join these two communities. Every time I drive past this space, I'm going to feel really good about what we did here. Green Force has transformed the Trinity Triangle from a community eyesore into a sustainable green space. And with just a few final touches, it will be ready to show Councillor McConnell and the neighboring community. Pam and I had a different set of priorities as to what we wanted to see in this triangle. She wanted a space that was safe and that linked the two neighborhoods, but I was really focusing on reducing the CO2 and bringing in the environment. But now that it's done, I suspect that she's going to be focused on how many trees and plants and shrubs there are, and I'm going to be worried if I did my job. Did I link those two communities? Well, here's your new community traffic triangle. What do you think?
Wow, it's amazing. You've done an amazing job. I'm sort of overwhelmed. I think it's a spectacular space, and I think Carson did a remarkable job. I can't believe it. I can't believe the proportion. I can't believe any of it. And I had no idea what you were talking about when you were talking about these arbor pergolas, but they fit in great.
When we first met and we first talked about this space, is this what you thought you'd get?
No, I didn't see this. I just had a sense that you knew what it needed to look like, and it was okay inside your head, and you pull out of my head what needed to happen, and you know what? Yeah, you did. This is quite a miracle. It's quite amazing.
All of the plant material is either native Canadian or drought tolerant.
Great.
Okay?
Good.
So
good.
everything that we've put in here is extremely low maintenance.
Okay.
Okay, so nobody has to look after this.
Well, that's perfect because we don't want this as a park, and we want it as always to be beautiful, but always to have that feeling of safety, a connection, an island that keeps people safe, and not a heat island, right?
Right.
Which is what you've accomplished. That's quite remarkable.
Well, I do want to show you a few things. Did you see the big linden tree that we brought in?
Yes.
It is going to get about 40 feet tall, but it's
Wow.
one of the best trees for removing CO2 out of the air.
Wow. Well, it'll also attract, I would think, some birds, so.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you saw, but we put in a ton of birdhouses for you.
Oh, for heaven's sake, no, I didn't see them. That notion of bringing wildlife here and having a space for them, it's not something that I saw, it's something that I imagine, and I really think that that's a really important key to this.
Now, I've mixed 3 different types of stones to get a very interesting textural effect.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
These stone walls will actually last longer than you and I will.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good news.
They're not going anywhere.
Oh, great, good.
Okay? And I've tried to keep the style fairly industrial looking because this is still a fairly industrial neighborhood,
Yes,
right? There's a lot
yes.
happening, a lot of growth, but this is in keeping with that.
Thank you very much. I think you did exactly what we asked you to do, and you've made a beautiful and spectacular natural space.
Now, did I meet your needs in this space?
You more than met my needs, absolutely.
Perfect. We should bring the community in so they can tell us.
Okay, let's go. I'm certain that in my lifetime as a councillor, I could have never brought this to the community. So thank you from the community, and thank you from me, and thank you from the city, because this has now become a very special place. Thank you.
I'm really proud of this makeover because even though we didn't design a park or a sitting area for people to use, what we did create here was one solution towards the city's growing pollution problem. Through the hard work of the Green Force team, we brought in trees and shrubs, which will help cut back on the CO2 emissions. We also joined 2 growing neighborhoods and provided a fantastic welcome mat for an emerging neighborhood. My name is Carson Arthur. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to the neighborhood, and keep doing these things for the rest of the city. Thanks.
People are going to want to come live down here now, and there's the distillery and the police station and a whole bunch of industry going up, but it's a little bit of an oasis in the midst of all that.
It's a total 100% turnaround. The community will love it. It makes our dealership look better. It makes the space, the community on a whole looks great now. Good job, guys. Can I get you to do my backyard?